just take his phone off him and just seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey, it's a security breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you phone in my car.
Whoa. When the badge turns silent, the body cam speaks. Rights violated.
This episode is brought to us by Coley Burks. Be sure to check the link below and subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Coley heads to a police station in Southampton to carry out a simple, lawful audit, but within moments it all explodes. A sergeant and 2 officers swarm him, running purely on emotion, not law, turning a calm interaction into one of the worst detentions yet. And just when you think it can't get any worse, another officer smashes Cohe.
Okay, why are you filming people's cars when they're coming out of there then? Because they're personal cars, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in public.
Well, they're not in public at the moment.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
All right.
You want to see my ID?
Yeah, I would really expect you to show it to me.
There you go. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman.
DS, yeah.
Okay.
And any detective work to be getting on with, or?
Well, no, I'm due to be
more
going
worried
home now.
about. All right, then go home then.
No, I'm more worried about you filming people's private cars. Police officers get a bit jumpy about that.
Why?
Why? Because people don't like us.
Okay,
Some
well, I'm
people have
not.
vengeance against police officers, and you're filming our personal cars when we come out.
But I don't.
That makes me very jumpy.
Why? What are you jumpy about?
Well, my personal details going out on social media or something like that.
So you're just assuming that it's going to go on social media. Do you know any of this? Like, you're just assuming.
No, I'm asking you.
Because this is what I'm choosing to do with my time today.
Yeah, but why are you doing that? Did you say you're not interested in people's private plate?
No, I'm not.
You're recording when they come out of there.
What can I do with someone's private plate? Only yourselves and the DVLA could pull that info.
I've got no idea.
Okay, well, rest assured, I'm not interested.
It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Sergeant comes in already nervous, and that's the real issue. Instead of looking calmly at what is actually happening, he reacts to what he thinks might happen, letting fear control his actions. He acts like Coley filming car number plates is something secret, even though number plates are public for everyone to see. When he says, "I don't know, but it makes me uncomfortable," it shows the wrong mindset. This is policing based on feelings, not on facts or the law. Coley didn't cause the discomfort. The sergeant did by mixing his personal anxiety with his professional role.
Been filming other police stations at all?
Is it your business?
Yeah, it is. I'm asking you now, yeah. Because if you're going around filming all the police stations, that makes me feel very uneasy.
Right.
And
so what are you trying to do?
I need to investigate that.
Okay, what do you want to investigate?
Why you are filming Hampshire police stations? Is my conversation not clear? Are you not clear on what I'm saying?
This is a camera, mate. I've given you assurances that I'm not here for any trouble.
Have I explained that? Have you not registered that?
I don't even think you are on edge. There's 3 of you. I've got a camera. Like, you guys are armed. Like, why would you be on edge? Should I not be the one that's on edge?
When we're coming out in personal vehicles.
Yeah, but what can I possibly do with your personal vehicle?
You tell me.
Then you should maybe consider taking the bus to work or something. I don't really understand.
Why should myself and my colleagues or our way of getting to work?
Because you're so concerned about security arrangements and whatnot. So if it's such a security risk...
I'll tell you why, because police officers get attacked on and off duty.
Right.
That's what makes me nervous.
Okay.
And they do that because people share our private information and track us down to where we live with our families. That makes me nervous.
This is where their excuses become really silly. Coley tells the officer, "If you're that worried, take the bus." And the officer replies, "Why should me and my colleagues go out of our way to get to work?" That makes no sense because the officer is the one claiming there is a security risk, not Coley. You can't park your personal car in public, wear a uniform, and then complain about people seeing you. That isn't a real security threat, it's hypocrisy. Then the sergeant adds another excuse, saying officers get attacked because people share private information. But that's not what's happening here. Coley isn't sharing addresses or personal details. He's simply filming legally from a public place.
So has there been any cases of someone filming private plates and then going on to attack police officers? Well, if you don't have any idea, then you can't be making those assumptions. Like.
Oh, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in harming any police officer.
I don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? How are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna what does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
Don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining it.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like,
is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
No.
No? Why are you here then?
To film.
Why to film?
Because this is what I want to do.
Filming?
The sergeant isn't even trying to hide that he is acting based on emotion, not the law. When Coley calmly asks, "How can we move forward then?" the sergeant says, "I'd like you to go if possible." When Coley asks, "What will that achieve?" the sergeant's answer is shocking. He says it will make him feel better. That isn't real law enforcement. It's enforcing feelings. What makes it worse is that everything he says is about himself. It makes me uncomfortable. It puts me on edge. It would make me feel better. Since when does the public have to change their lawful actions just to protect an officer's personal comfort? It's completely the wrong way around. The police are supposed to serve the public, not the public serving the police.
Maybe other members of the public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of here, be on edge. Why is he filming me? Okay.
Because we're in public. You guys have got cameras everywhere. Like, you're filming.
And there's
like,
CCTV all the way around.
of
the
course
city,
there is.
isn't
Exactly. So what? I don't know why we've got such a
And obviously today
front
we've got another
about
Do you not think
filming.
that the police station could be a security risk?
Is it not a secure building? Like,
That wasn't my question. Do you concede that people may want to target a police station?
no.
You don't concede
Because
that?
it's not. I don't think it's a valuable target. I don't know what sort of people you're referring to. I don't think this is a valuable target for a terrorist. Has a police station ever been attacked
Yeah, up in
by a
London they
terrorist?
have.
Has they?
Yeah, London
Which
police
one?
stations have been attacked quite regularly.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Name a few.
Well, name one then.
Can't tell you.
So you can't name them, but you're saying that it's happening. Well, which one then?
I can tell you, but I won't.
What?
I can tell you, but I won't.
You can tell me, but you won't.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit odd. I don't know why.
You're not giving a reason for being here.
When Coley questions the sergeant's claim about a security threat and asks if a police station has ever been attacked, the sergeant confidently says, "Yes, quite regularly." But that isn't true. There have been a few rare incidents, mostly many years ago or connected to the Northern Ireland Troubles, but nothing that supports the idea of it happening regularly. In reality, attacks on police stations in the UK are extremely uncommon. Most modern threats have targeted busy public places like transport hubs or crowds, not random police stations. Then the colleague adds, "I can tell you, but I won't," which sounds childish rather than professional. This smug and evasive attitude shows the real issue. They weren't having an honest discussion. They were just trying to win an argument.
This was like a genuine security risk, and this genuinely posed a threat. I wouldn't be irresponsible and come and do this. Believe me. And if this was behaviour that I knew that terrorists engaged in,
But it is.
I would have.
They
No,
film
it's
targets. They
what,
definitely-
overtly
Well, they might
with,
do.
with this little crappy
How do
little
I know
gimbal.
you're not a terrorist? How do I know that? How do I know that?
You don't know that, but you have to go
Exactly
based
right.
on what you do know. There needs to be an objective
Yeah, so
basis.
What I do know is I've got a man who's not willing to give his details stood in front of me who's filming police stations.
Okay.
So that's what I do know. That's the facts.
Okay.
Is it not?
So me filming does not implicate me as any sort of like prospective terrorist
No,
or
but it raises
otherwise.
my suspicion.
Well, you can be suspicious all you want. Like it's not a crime. You suspecting me of doing something is not a crime. You need to have some sort of reasonable suspicion or objective basis to suspect me as a terrorist.
No, well, at the moment, I think you are filming a police station
Yeah.
with no reason to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You are refusing to give your details. I have no idea where that information's going, and I know you have filmed other Hampshire police stations.
This moment shows how completely the sergeant's logic falls apart. When Coley says, if he knew this was terrorist behavior, he wouldn't have done it, the sergeant replies, "How do I know you're not a terrorist?" That is absurd. Policing cannot be based on guessing what someone might be. Officers must act on what they actually know, not on fear or imagination. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, they need clear factual grounds, not emotional suspicion. But the sergeant keeps pushing, claiming Coley is filming for no reason and refusing to give details, as if that alone makes him suspicious. Filming in public is legal, and not giving extra information is not a crime. The sergeant is creating a problem that doesn't exist. This is feelings-based policing disguised as counterterrorism, and it shows how poorly trained he is.
Power search? Section 44? 43, is it? I think we can do that. I think we did the...
Sure you want to do that? I don't think you got grounds for a Section 43 search.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I do, okay? So...
Yeah, well, it's not about thinking. This is objective. It's not an opinion, is it?
Look.
The legislation's black and white. It's not I think.
You can have this conversation with the solicitor afterwards and they can come after me at a later date. That's absolutely fine, okay? That's your right.
So you're going to abuse my rights now, yeah?
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to use our powers.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, I find your behaviour very suspicious.
Okay.
You are filming not just this police station in Hampshire, but other police stations in Hampshire. You can give me no legal,
Listen to what you're saying, Hampshire.
no legal reason why you are doing that, other than because you want to.
Yeah,
You are
that's. I
refusing
don't need
your
a
details,
reason.
So we can't even verify who you are or what you are doing it for. Therefore,
I'm not obliged to
I
give
consider
details.
that to be quite a big terrorist risk. Okay, so you are now detained for this search.
This exchange clearly shows what happens when authority is used instead of real understanding. When Coley tells the sergeant, "I don't think you have grounds," the sergeant simply replies, "I think I do." That short answer reveals a big problem. He is relying on his personal belief, not on the law. Section 43 is not about what an officer feels might be suspicious. It requires clear, objective reasons that any reasonable person could recognize. Coley is right to point out that this is not just about someone thinking something is true. The sergeant's response shows he doesn't understand how serious it is to detain someone under terrorism powers. Such actions need strong facts and precision, not guesses or hunches.
So these officers are going to search you now in order to see if there is anything that needs to raise that suspicion even further.
So what items? Who's conducting the search firstly?
These two are going to conduct the search.
But you've just launched with it. So what are these officers going to be searching for?
Anything related to terrorism.
Such as what? That's a bit abstract, isn't it? Any sort of specific items?
Not at the moment.
So you're searching for my ID?
Well, no, and anything relating to terrorism. So if all of a sudden we find ID and that says actually this bloke's okay, there's nothing to worry about.
I am okay. I've told you I'm okay.
Yeah, I know you've told me, but I don't know that. Or it might say he's on a terrorist watch list, and then we've got something to worry about, haven't we? So
you're not going to find my info though.
Okay, that's fine. But they're going to search you for that purpose.
This power doesn't. I don't have to provide my information in this power.
No, I'm not asking to provide anything. But
you just said you're hoping to find ID, this and that. Like,
yeah, if they find it, we'll look at it.
You know, you can be sued in a civil court.
That's absolutely fine. You can go down that route. I haven't got a problem with that.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
This is a clear example of how police powers should not be used. When Coley asks what they are searching for, the sergeant answers, "Anything related to terrorism," which shows he doesn't understand the law. That phrase is too vague and has no real legal meaning. Section 43 requires specific and reasonable suspicion that someone is carrying items connected to terrorism, not a general search for something that might look suspicious. If an officer can't clearly explain what they are looking for, the search becomes unlawful. When Coley calmly points out that this power does not allow officers to demand ID, the sergeant simply shrugs. Even when warned about being sued, he acts as if it doesn't matter. It suggests he knows he is outside the law, but believes his badge will protect him anyway.
So the outcome of the search was negative. So why am I still detained? If you've completed the search...
At the moment, we're trying to identify who you are.
I know, but you've just detained me for the purposes of a search, not to find out my identity. So now,
And at this time,
as I'm further detained, this is becoming more and more unlawful because now you're detaining me to find out my name. Like, that wasn't the object of the search, was it? You've done the search. It's come back negative. I know, but you're the one that's launched with the power, so I feel like you're the one...
The officer said you was trying to find out your identity.
Yeah, but that wasn't the purpose of the search.
Okay,
Section 43 doesn't require me to give my details.
Is that what you're saying? Do you want to go?
Yes.
Go on then.
Can I get a copy of the search slip, please?
Yeah, 2 seconds. You ever been arrested before?
Don't worry, in due time, you'll find out everything you need to know.
Okay. I'll wait in due time and then I'll know who you are, won't I?
Oh, well, I can't go.
Is he recording cars as they're coming out of there?
Yeah, it is.
Let's take his phone off him and let's seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey, it's a
Evidence of
security
what?
breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you see phone in my car.
Whoa.
The video ends in a shocking way. While Coley calmly waits for his search form, an off-duty officer suddenly rushes over, shouting security breach. He then grabs Coley's camera and switches it off. After this, Coley gives an update, explaining that the police force is now trying to stop him from taking the case any further.
Okay, so now I will talk you through said developments in chronological order as best I can. If you need to pause the video at any point to digest what's going on, then feel free to do so. Naturally, the first step was to file a complaint, which you will now see on the screen. The complaint explained in great detail the events that occurred outside Southampton police station and my dismay with the treatment that I had received. Following my complaint, I was quickly emailed by a sergeant prompting me to come to the station to collect my phone. You guys are already aware of that. Following this, the next step was to make a subject access request in order to gain access to the body-worn footage that was compiled on me at the time of the search. I was then contacted by a member of the public rights access team telling me that my request would be processed. Shortly afterwards, I was met with a letter from the access rights team restricting my access under provisions of section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act in order to protect the rights and freedoms of others. This didn't make much sense to me, as the footage was compiled in a public place where privacy is not an expectation. So naturally, I drafted a letter challenging the access team's refusal to grant me permission to get hold of this footage. And so eventually I got a reply on the 18th of November informing me that my letter had been passed on to the public access manager and that I was due a response on the 16th of December. Today is the 20th of December and we are still yet to receive any further correspondence from the public access team. It seems as though Hampshire Constabulary are making a concentrated effort to withhold any information from me to cover their tracks. This deceitfulness is not instilling any confidence from myself nor the public in Hampshire Constabulary. If anything, it is exposing their lack of transparency and openness in dealing with a blatant case of misconduct. So I'm simply following the letter of the law and using the tools and information given to me as via legislation.
This update makes the whole situation even more frustrating. When Cohey tried to handle things properly by filing a subject access request to get the officer's body-worn camera footage, Hampshire Constabulary refused. They used section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act to deny access, even though that rule is meant to protect ongoing investigations or truly sensitive information, not to hide misconduct. The footage was recorded in a public place with officers on duty, so there is no clear legal or ethical reason to withhold it. It looks less like they are protecting sensitive material and more like they are protecting themselves. If Cohey took this case to court, he would likely have a strong chance of success. The detention was based on weak terrorism grounds and seemed driven more by feelings than facts, which could be ruled unlawful. Compensation for false detention and rights violations could be between £2,000 and £6,000, or even more if the court believed evidence was deliberately withheld. Courts do not react well when police misuse powers and then try to cover it up at the moment. There have been no further updates from Cohey because he is currently serving time for an unrelated offense. Still, it shows that accountability and justice do not always happen quickly.